Hello, investors. This is Ted Zhang, Portfolio Manager at Revere Asset Management. Today is Wednesday, March 12th, 5:05 p.m., coming to you from Fort Lauderdale with tonight's Revere Roundup Daily Market Insight video. Market state, moderate correction. Going to the GROTECTION gauge, market leaders, still weak action. So we have a down arrow there. Short term, all indexes below the 21 exponential moving average. Medium term trend index is below the 50-day moving average, so red arrow as well. Long term, we still have a green arrow, but that is quickly moving to neutral and down. We're still giving a little bit of margin of error to see if we do bounce and reclaim that 200-day moving average, but both S&P, Qs, mid cap, small caps, Dow are living below their 200-day moving averages now. What happened today? Cooler than expected CPI stops the bleeding for now. 21 over 21 still under construction. We're still developing a list. Big 8 up 2.63%. Uh, Currently a bounce so far. RGA up 0.92%. S&P 500 up 0.49%. RSP down 0.47%. QQQ up 1.13%. QQEW up 0.22%. Dow Jones down 0.2%. Mid caps down 0.12%. Small caps up 0.14%. Global 60/40 equities bonds up 0.36%, and GROTECTION up 0.16%. Jumping right into the charts, starting off with S&P. Following 2 days of massive distribution, now three closes below the 200-day moving average now. We bounced today, held the lows of yesterday, which is good so far, and also made a higher high and closed green. So that is a good start, but volume declined as well, and we're still below all key moving averages. So still weak action, nothing notable to talk about yet. RSP, same thing. We actually made a lower low and another above average day of selling. Weak action here as well. Qs also held yesterday's lows, but volume declined. We did make a higher high. We actually had a decent close as well, but you can see these MAs were living below all of them, and the 21 is quickly declining below, soon below 500, the 150 day, and perhaps the 200 day soon. QQEW also held yesterday's lows, but still in this steep downtrend. There's really no character change so far. Dow Jones also two closes below, or you could say three closes below the 200-day moving average. Not great action either. So really on the trend gauge, we are in the long-term downtrend as well. Mid caps continue to live below the 200 and all key moving averages. Russell continues to live below all key moving averages as well. There's really nothing to talk about for these, just totally weak action. VIX continues to come down after rejecting that 30 area. That really hasn't boosted the markets whatsoever. Still monitoring this, seeing if a lower VIX does help the markets. At least it will give us lower volatility. But that lower volatility could simply just expand to the upside once again, once we resume the downtrend. The dollar living below all key moving averages as well and stays weak, a new lower low. Gold starting to break out of this little shelf. Gold's really strong, our relative strength line new highs as well. And I want to talk about gold miners as well, building this super beautiful cup with handle. That's a buy for sure, above 42.66, and it's definitely on our focus lists. Continue on. We actually want to talk about silver now. Let me add that back into the main list. Put that in there. So silver, we actually bought this for GROTECTION and TurboTection. Broke out this cup with handle. It's really starting to go now. And one of the best weekly charts in the market. And as you can see, back in 2010, 11, when we do have these big silver breakouts, silver can really run. And so we'll see what happens there. Bitcoin actually showing RS to the market, undercut reclaim the 40-week moving average and is right up against the 30-week moving average right now as well, which is coinciding with the white 200-day moving average. However, it's coming into a declining 10 and 20 as well. On today's inflation data, doesn't seem like bonds believed it because the 10-year actually rose instead of fell, and bonds sold off a tiny bit as well. So with that said, that is it for the inter-asset correlation. We're going to move to the tail of the tape now, as always. Moderate correction, still in the bear case, sustained break below the 21 EMA. We're living 14 days below the 21 EMA, 14 days below the 8 EMA. So first character change would be at least reclaim the 8 and the 21. Expectations are definitely negative here. Action, we gapped up off cooler than expected CPI. Um, and that, let me bring up the numbers for you. That came in both 0.1% under expected. I believe month over month is 0.2 versus 0.3. Year over year was 2.8 versus 2.9. Tomorrow we have PPI, and then next Wednesday we have FOMC. Over this 95% no cut is up to 99% no cut now. Uh, Strong sectors today. Actually, for some reason that was not updated, so I apologize. But strong sectors, China really was the main strong sector, which I'll talk about, and mega caps are up today, but really just not a lot of strength overall. Staples got crushed recently, healthcare. So it's a whole mixed bag. Growth stocks as well. All we did today is buy PSQ, which is a Q's inverse hedge. And we're using that to hedge our S&P exposure because we do have long-term clients that have capital gains. So we haven't totally sold all of SPLG. So we're hedging to enable us to hold the SPLG for longer. So RVAB is 0.16. Open heat or rebar is 0.79. Bottom line is cooler than expected CPI stops the bleeding for now. So I'll just want to quickly talk about some charts of interest, starting off with KWeb. And really, this is building a really nice cup with handle on the weekly and the daily. And this is China emerging markets with a weak dollar has been holding up strong. China is injecting liquidity into their economy. Their central bank continues to pursue easing practices. And this is clearly shown RS. Over today's highs, I would potentially make a starter, trending along nicely above the 21 EMA. When we look at the individual stocks, BABA, really nice high tight flag in the making. Over 140, I would say, is a buy here. XPEV, it's a Chinese EV company, and their EVs are quite nice. 40% year-over-year growth, still not making money yet, but still growing revenues quite nicely, and they're investing over 100 billion into humanoid robots as well. 99 RS, as you can see. However, earnings in 6 days. LI, another Chinese EV, building a bottoming cup with handle base. This seems quite favorable as well. Earnings in 2 days, and that could just turn into a catalyst gapper. Futu, a finance broker institution in China, earnings tomorrow, building cup with handle as well. So we'll see what happens there. VNet data center name. It had earnings today. It actually came in quite nicely, but just gapped up and squatted so far below the 21 EMA. Silver, we still own it and continue to be bullish. We want to get above the 30.27, which would officially signal a breakout. And finally, gold, we own this as well, breaking out of this shelf. Some other things I want to talk about. Let's just bring up NVIDIA. This is rallying, reclaiming that 113 low. I believe if it comes into this area right here, into the 200-day declining 21 and 50, that's a potential short sell area, like this area right here, for continuation within the downtrend. WGS is another name on the top of my head that I forgot to put in. This is also holding up really well, building out a handle in this multi-month base. 1, 2, 3, 4 month base after earnings. Great earnings as well. So this is definitely a name to keep an eye on as well. And with that being said, we continue to keep track of the relative strength names. We will short if there are opportunistic chances, but most importantly, we're here to manage risk and protect the downside while the markets are volatile, uncertain, and there's high volatility and as well as risk. With that being said, I'm gonna wrap up today's video. If you're interested, as always, you can email me at ted@revereasset.com. My Twitter is TedHZhang. Our phone is 855-REAL-WEALTH. That is 855-732-5932. Our website is revereasset.com, and our YouTube is also Revere Asset. As always, if you're interested in becoming a client, you can reach out to me. With that being said, this is Ted Zhang with Revere Asset Management, telling it like it is. Thank you for listening and have a great rest of your week.